In the remote northeast of Australia, a realm exists where the passage of time is almost imperceptible and the landscape appears much as it did millions of years ago. This is a world of perpetual moisture and deep, layered greens, where every surface is cloaked in moss, ferns and lichen, and the air is saturated with humidity. Often described as a Jurassic jungle, this region is a living relic, preserving the grandeur and complexity of Earth's ancient rainforests. The towering trees, some centuries old, create a cathedral-like canopy overhead, while the forest floor is a maze of roots and fallen leaves, echoing with the calls of unseen creatures. The inhabitants of this ecosystem are as remarkable as the forest itself, with many species tracing their lineage back to the age of dinosaurs, their forms and behaviors shaped by eons of isolation. Giant tree ferns and cycads, survivors from prehistoric times, dominate the undergrowth, their fronds unfurling in the filtered light, creating a landscape that mirrors the world of the Mesozoic era. This lush, vibrant ecosystem stands in dramatic contrast to the arid savannas and deserts that cover much of Australia, forming a green oasis amidst a sea of dryness. Water is the lifeblood of this forest, feeding countless streams and waterfalls that carve their way through the landscape, nurturing an astonishing diversity of life. The forest floor teems with activity. Tiny insects scuttle across damp earth while vivid flowers burst into bloom, attracting pollinators with their colors and scents. Among the undergrowth, ancient reptiles glide silently, their movements unchanged for millennia, embodying the resilience of life in this primeval world. Every organism, from the smallest ant to the most imposing bird, is woven into a complex web of interdependence, each fulfilling a unique role within the ecosystem. The diversity of plant life is staggering, with rare orchids, epiphytes and mosses thriving in the humid air, creating countless microhabitats for specialized species. The rainforest is structured in layers, from the sunlit emergent trees to the shadowy understory, each supporting its own community of plants and animals, many found nowhere else on Earth. The wildlife here is strikingly unique, faces and forms that seem to belong to another era, perfectly adapted to the challenges of rainforest life. Birds display dazzling plumage and intricate courtship rituals, their songs echoing through the trees, while others move in coordinated flocks, painting the sky with color. Mammals have evolved extraordinary adaptations. Some, like the tree kangaroo, navigate the treetops with ease, while others forage by night, rarely glimpsed by daylight. These animals are not relics of legend, but living testaments to the power of evolution, their survival dependent on the stability of this ancient environment. Some species, known as living fossils, retain features that have vanished elsewhere, offering a direct window into evolutionary history. These forests are a living legacy of Gondwana, the ancient supercontinent, their flora and fauna bearing the imprint of a time when Australia was part of a vast, interconnected world of rainforests. The fragility of this ecosystem is evident in its delicate plants and specialized species, each finely tuned to the rainforest's unique conditions. The rainforest is a dynamic, interconnected world, where every organism, from the tallest tree to the tiniest insect, contributes to the overall health and resilience of the ecosystem. The soil beneath the forest is alive with activity. Roots, fungi, and invertebrates work together to recycle nutrients, sustaining the towering giants above. From the dark, nutrient-rich earth to the sunlit canopy, the rainforest is a vertical world, each layer supporting a distinct community of life. As we delve deeper into this extraordinary environment, we encounter a dazzling array of species, each with its own story of adaptation and survival in this ancient stronghold. This journey reveals not only the breathtaking beauty and complexity of Australia's Jurassic jungle, but also the critical importance of preserving these irreplaceable ecosystems, safeguarding a living link to our planet's distant past for generations yet to come. The very soul of this ancient jungle is sculpted by a monumental geological marvel, the Great Dividing Range. Rising in a sinuous line along the continent's eastern edge, these mountains form a formidable natural barrier, their rugged peaks and sprawling plateaus stretching unbroken for thousands of kilometers. This immense chain acts as a climatic architect, intercepting the moist, ocean-borne air that sweeps in from the Pacific. As the air ascends the steep slopes, it cools rapidly, condensing into dense clouds that cloak the summits in perpetual mist. The relentless ascent of moisture-laden winds gives birth to a ceaseless cycle of condensation and rainfall, saturating the forest canopy and nourishing every layer of life below. Each droplet that falls is a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of this ecosystem, sustaining a realm where water is both sculptor and sustainer. The mountains serve as a climatic divide, their eastern flanks cloaked in emerald abundance, while the western slopes descend abruptly into parched, sun-baked expanses. This sharp transition marks the boundary between two worlds, one lush and teeming, the other stark and silent. Within the rainforest, the air is thick with humidity, a constant veil of moisture that seeps into every crevice and saturates the soil, creating a microclimate where decay and renewal are in perpetual balance. Waterways, born from the mountain's embrace, meander through the undergrowth, their courses shaped by ancient geology. Cascading waterfalls and tranquil billabongs punctuate the landscape, each a sanctuary for myriad forms of life. Rainfall here is a symphony of contrasts, sometimes a gentle, whispering mist that nourishes the mosses and ferns, at other times a torrential deluge that transforms the forest floor into a labyrinth of ephemeral streams and pools. The rhythm of precipitation orchestrates the pulse of the jungle, dictating cycles of abundance and scarcity and shaping the behaviors of every organism that calls this place home. In this saturated world, vegetation flourishes with exuberance. Towering trees pierce the canopy, their buttressed roots anchoring them in the sodden earth, while colossal leaves capture every available drop of moisture. The abundance of freshwater habitats fosters a remarkable diversity of life, from the smallest aquatic invertebrates to the most elusive forest dwellers, each species finely attuned to the rhythms of water and shade. The perpetual soundscape of dripping water and rushing streams forms a living symphony, echoing through the dense foliage and underscoring the vitality of this ecosystem. Yet the rainforest's dominion is not infinite. Its verdant expanse gradually yields to open terrain, where the intricate web of life gives way to sparser, more exposed environments. At the margins, the transition is abrupt, a mosaic of shifting vegetation zones, each adapted to the changing availability of moisture and shelter. Here, the dense canopy thins, sunlight penetrates more deeply, and the undergrowth recedes, signaling the end of the rainforest's reign. The once continuous jungle now persists in isolated enclaves, each a reservoir of ancient biodiversity, separated by expanses of drier, less hospitable terrain. Within these refugees, the interplay of water, soil, and stone creates microhabitats of extraordinary complexity, where roots intertwine and fungi flourish in the perpetual damp. The vertical stratification of the forest is a marvel of natural engineering, with each layer, from the sun-lit emergent crowns to the shadowed understory, harbouring its own unique assemblage of life. Epiphytes and vines festoon the branches, drawing sustenance from the humid air and capturing rainwater in their leafy reservoirs, creating miniature aquatic worlds high above the forest floor. The eternal dance between mountain, cloud and rain is the heartbeat of this realm, a dynamic equilibrium that has persisted for eons. The Great Dividing Range stands as the silent architect, channeling the ocean's bounty into the land, while the rain, ever renewing, breathes life into every corner of the forest. Elevation crafts a mosaic of habitats, from the wind-lashed, cloud-draped summits to the sheltered, fertile valleys, each supporting distinct communities of flora and fauna. This vertical and horizontal diversity fosters an unparalleled richness of species, each adapted to the subtle gradients of moisture, light, and temperature that define their niche. Over countless millennia, this intricate interplay of geology, climate, and life has forged one of the planet's most extraordinary and enduring ecosystems, a living testament to the power and resilience of nature's design. The rainforests of Australia, with their vibrant canopies and intricate layers of life, appear timeless and enduring. Yet beneath this green expanse lies a story of profound transformation, one that has left these ecosystems vulnerable and diminished. Once, these rainforests stretched unbroken along the east coast, forming a living corridor that supported an extraordinary diversity of plant and animal life. The ancient forests were shaped by natural cycles of growth, decay, and renewal, maintaining a delicate equilibrium over millennia. This continuous green belt provided stable habitats, allowing species to migrate, adapt, and thrive in response to subtle shifts in climate and environment. The rainforest floor, rich with decaying plant matter, fostered a complex web of nutrient cycling. Fallen leaves and branches decomposed slowly, nourishing the soil and supporting the towering trees above. Fungi and microorganisms played a crucial role in breaking down organic material, ensuring that nutrients were efficiently recycled and available for new growth. The multi-layered structure of the rainforest, from the dark, humid understory to the sunlit canopy, created countless microhabitats, each supporting unique communities of life. Over millions of years, this intricate system evolved to withstand natural disturbances such as storms, fires, and droughts, always returning to balance through resilience and adaptation. However, the removal of vast tracts of rainforest has disrupted these ancient processes. Where once there was a seamless expanse of green, now there are scars, bare soil exposed to the elements, vulnerable to erosion and nutrient loss. Without the protective cover of trees and undergrowth, rainfall washes away the fertile topsoil, carrying sediments into streams and rivers. This runoff clouds the water, smothering aquatic habitats and altering the chemistry of entire waterways. The once continuous rainforest is now fragmented into isolated patches. These remnants are cut off from each other by open land, making it difficult for species to move, find food, or reproduce. The abrupt edges where rainforest meets cleared land are exposed to wind, sunlight, and invasive species, creating harsh conditions that many native plants and animals cannot tolerate. In these disturbed areas, invasive plants often outcompete native species, altering the composition and structure of the forest. This shift can lead to a decline in biodiversity and the loss of specialized habitats. Over time, the cumulative effect of habitat loss and fragmentation has led to a dramatic reduction in rainforest extent. Satellite images reveal the relentless pace at which these ancient forests have been diminished. Today, only a fraction of the original rainforest remains, scattered like islands in a sea of farmland and development. These isolated pockets are more susceptible to local extinctions and environmental stress. The stress of isolation weakens the resilience of these ecosystems. Plants and animals face increased competition, disease, and the risk of inbreeding, further threatening their survival. The microclimate at the forest edge changes dramatically. Temperatures rise, humidity drops, and wind penetrates deeper into the forest, disrupting the delicate balance that many species depend on. Pollutants from surrounding land, such as fertilizers and pesticides, seep into the rainforest, contaminating water sources and triggering algal blooms that suffocate aquatic life. The altered landscape is also more vulnerable to fire. Where dense, moist rainforest once resisted burning, drier conditions and exposed edges now allow flames to penetrate, causing further destruction. Recovery from such disturbances is slow and uncertain. While some areas show signs of regrowth, the original complexity and diversity may never fully return. Protected reserves now serve as sanctuaries for what remains of these ancient forests. Within their boundaries, the rainforest clings to life, but the pressures from the surrounding landscape are ever present. The stark contrast between thriving rainforest and barren land is a powerful reminder of what has been lost and what is at stake. Within these remaining fragments, rare and ancient species persist, each one a living testament to the rainforest's resilience and evolutionary history. The fate of Australia's rainforests now depends on the protection and restoration of these last strongholds. Their survival is vital, not only for the countless species they shelter, but for the health and balance of the entire continent's environment. Deep within the emerald shadows of Australia's ancient rainforests, a living relic from the age of dinosaurs quietly roams the southern cassowary. This extraordinary bird, often called the guardian of the jungle, is a keystone species whose presence shapes the very fabric of its environment. Towering up to 2 meters tall, the cassowary is the heaviest bird in Australia. Its dense, hair-like black feathers provide camouflage among the tangled vines and dappled light of the rainforest floor, while also protecting it from sharp branches and thorns. Its head and neck are adorned with vibrant blues and purples, punctuated by vivid red wattles. The most distinctive feature, however, is the tall, helmet-like casque, a structure unique among living birds. Composed of a spongy core covered in keratin, the casque continues to grow throughout the cassowary's life. Recent research suggests it may serve multiple functions, amplifying low-frequency sounds, signaling maturity and status, and even protecting the bird's head as it navigates dense foliage. The cassowary's casque allows it to move with surprising agility through the thickest undergrowth, parting vines and branches with ease. Its deep, booming calls, some of the lowest frequency sounds made by any bird, can travel through the forest for over 1 kilometer, helping individuals communicate across vast distances. Despite its imposing size, the cassowary is elusive and solitary by nature, preferring to avoid confrontation and human presence. Sightings in the wild are rare, as these birds blend seamlessly into their surroundings and move with remarkable stealth. The cassowary's diet is astonishingly diverse, but it is best known for its role as a primary consumer of rainforest fruits. It forages for fallen fruit, often consuming entire fruits that are too large or toxic for other animals. Many of these fruits, such as the cassowary plum, contain toxins that would deter or harm most other creatures, yet the cassowary's digestive system is uniquely adapted to process them safely. By consuming these specialized fruits, the cassowary unlocks a vital food source and ensures the survival of plant species that depend on it for seed dispersal. Its omnivorous appetite extends beyond fruit, encompassing fungi, invertebrates, and even small vertebrates, making it a true opportunist in the rainforest ecosystem. Fungi, snails, and insects are all part of its varied menu, contributing to the bird's nutritional needs and further connecting it to the intricate web of rainforest life. Occasionally, the cassowary will consume small reptiles or amphibians, demonstrating its adaptability and resourcefulness. When threatened, the cassowary transforms from a gentle gardener to a formidable defender. Its powerful legs and sharp claws are capable of inflicting serious injury, a necessary adaptation in a world of predators and competition. Each foot is armed with a dagger-like claw, nearly 13 centimeters long, which can deliver swift defensive kicks. The cassowary's speed and agility are equally impressive. It can sprint at nearly 50 kilometers per hour and leap over obstacles up to 2 meters high, making it one of the most athletic birds on Earth. Yet, it is the cassowary's ecological role that truly sets it apart. As the rainforest's chief gardener, it is responsible for dispersing the seeds of over 100 plant species, many of which rely exclusively on this bird for propagation. By swallowing fruits whole and traveling long distances, the cassowary deposits seeds far from the parent tree, often in nutrient-rich droppings that give seedlings a head start. A single cassowary may cover several kilometers in a day, ensuring genetic diversity and the regeneration of the forest across vast areas. In peak fruiting seasons, it can consume hundreds of fruits daily, acting as a living conveyor belt for the rainforest's next generation. The seeds pass through the cassowary's digestive tract unharmed, their tough coatings softened and ready to germinate. Deposited in a nutrient-rich package, these seeds have a far greater chance of survival, often sprouting into saplings that will one day form the rainforest canopy. This process is essential for maintaining the diversity and resilience of the rainforest, allowing new growth to flourish in areas cleared by storms or old age. Some of the rainforest's rarest and most ancient plants are entirely dependent on the cassowary for their survival, making the bird a linchpin in the ecosystem's ongoing evolution. Without the cassowary, the forest would lose its ability to regenerate and many plant species would face extinction. The cassowary's breeding cycle is equally fascinating. During the wet season, males and females come together briefly, their courtship rituals marked by deep calls and displays of their colourful necks and wattles. The female, larger and more dominant, lays a clutch of 3 to 5 large emerald-green eggs in a shallow nest of leaves and moss on the forest floor. After laying, she departs, leaving the male to undertake the demanding task of incubation and chick-rearing. The male incubates the eggs for nearly 2 months, rarely leaving the nest and relying on his camouflage for protection. Once the striped chicks emerge, the father becomes their sole guardian, fiercely defending them from predators and teaching them the secrets of the forest. The chicks, camouflaged with brown and cream stripes, remain with their father for up to 9 months, learning to forage and navigate the complex rainforest terrain. This extended parental care is rare among birds and ensures the next generation of forest gardeners is well prepared for survival. Under the watchful eye of their father, young cassowaries learn to identify edible fruits, avoid dangers, and eventually claim their own territories. Today, the southern cassowary is endangered, with fewer than 2,000 adults remaining in the wild. Habitat loss, vehicle strikes, and introduced predators threaten its survival. Protecting this ancient gardener is not just about saving a single species, it is about preserving the intricate, primeval rainforest that depends on its presence. The fate of Australia's Jurassic jungle is inextricably linked to the survival of the southern cassowary, the forest's giant gardener. Suspended high above the shadowy forest floor, the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo inhabits a world few mammals ever experience, a labyrinth of leaves, branches, and filtered sunlight deep within the ancient rainforests of northeastern Australia. This remarkable marsupial Dendrolagus lumholtzi is one of only a handful of kangaroo species to have abandoned terrestrial life, evolving extraordinary adaptations to thrive in the dense, vertical environment of the canopy. Measuring up to 75 centimeters in body length and weighing between 7 and 10 kilograms, the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo is compact and powerfully built, with a dense, woolly coat that insulates it from the cool, misty mountain air. Its anatomy is a marvel of arboreal engineering: robust forelimbs, each ending in elongated, sharply curved claws, provide a vice-like grip on slippery bark, while the shortened hind legs allow for agile maneuvering among the branches. The tail, nearly as long as the body, acts as a dynamic counterbalance, enabling the animal to negotiate precarious perches and sudden shifts in weight as it traverses the canopy. Unlike terrestrial kangaroos, the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo possesses a unique ability to move each hind limb independently, granting it the rare skill to walk both forwards and backwards along narrow branches, a crucial adaptation for navigating the tangled rainforest. Its entire existence unfolds in the uppermost layers of the rainforest, where sunlight filters through a mosaic of leaves and the air is thick with the scent of moss and epiphytes. By day, the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo is a master of concealment, curling into a tight ball on a sturdy branch or nestled in the fork of a tree, its muted brown and grey fur blending seamlessly with the lichen-covered bark. As dusk falls, it awakens and begins its deliberate, silent journey through the treetops, relying on keen senses of smell and hearing to locate food and avoid danger in the darkness. The diet of the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo is highly specialized, consisting almost exclusively of the leaves of over 30 species of rainforest trees, including figs, laurels, and umbrella trees. Many of these leaves contain potent toxins and tough fibers, yet the tree kangaroo's complex, multi-chambered stomach is uniquely adapted to detoxify and digest these challenging foods, extracting nutrients unavailable to most other mammals. This digestive specialization not only reduces competition for food, but also allows the species to exploit a niche where few other large herbivores can survive. Despite its adaptations, the canopy is fraught with peril. The Lumholtz's tree kangaroo must remain vigilant, as threats can come from above, below, or within the trees themselves. A single misstep or a rotten branch can result in a catastrophic fall, and the dense undergrowth below offers little cushion for such a descent. When threatened by predators such as the formidable carpet python, the tree kangaroo can execute a controlled leap from heights of up to 15 meters, using its muscular limbs and tail to absorb the impact and escape with minimal injury. A feat unmatched by any other kangaroo. Reproduction follows the classic marsupial pattern. After a brief gestation, the tiny, underdeveloped joey is born and instinctively climbs into its mother's pouch, where it will remain for up to 9 months. Inside the pouch, the joey attaches to a teat and receives nutrient-rich milk, gradually developing fur, strength, and coordination in the safety of its mobile nursery. Even after emerging, the young kangaroo continues to seek refuge in the pouch, returning frequently as it learns to navigate the complex three-dimensional world of the rainforest canopy. Today, the greatest threat to the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo is not predation, but the relentless loss and fragmentation of its rainforest habitat due to agriculture, logging, and urban expansion. As lowland forests have vanished, populations have retreated to isolated patches of upland rainforest, now surviving primarily above 300 meters on the Atherton tablelands. These fragmented habitats restrict movement, reduce genetic diversity, and make it increasingly difficult for individuals to find mates or new feeding grounds. The continued existence of the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo is inextricably linked to the preservation of these ancient high-altitude rainforests, which harbor not only this species, but a wealth of unique flora and fauna. Only through dedicated conservation efforts and the protection of these irreplaceable habitats can the Lumholtz's tree kangaroo continue its secretive life, leaping through the emerald labyrinth of Australia's Jurassic jungles for generations yet to come. Hidden within the labyrinthine waterways of the rainforest and its coastal fringes, a true relic of prehistory reigns supreme, an apex predator whose lineage stretches back over 200 million years. The saltwater crocodile, or salty, is not only the largest living reptile, but also one of the most perfectly engineered predators on Earth. Mature males can exceed 7 meters in length and tip the scales at over a ton, their immense bulk cloaked in armor-like scales that shimmer with ancient resilience. Each scale is a testament to evolutionary mastery, embedded with bony plates called osteoderms that provide both protection and support, a living shield forged by millennia of survival. Their jaws, lined with up to 68 conical teeth, deliver the most powerful bite force of any animal alive, capable of crushing bone and shell with ease. Saltwater crocodiles are astonishingly adaptable, thriving in environments ranging from brackish mangrove swamps to crystal-clear rainforest streams. Their physiology allows them to regulate salt levels, enabling seamless transitions between saline estuaries and freshwater habitats. Deep within the rainforest, they glide through billabongs and waterholes, their presence a silent but constant reminder of the wild's enduring power. Remarkably, saltwater crocodiles are accomplished ocean voyagers, capable of traversing vast stretches of open sea to colonize distant river systems and islands. Along the banks, they bask in the sun, absorbing vital warmth to fuel their cold-blooded metabolism, their stillness masking the latent energy within. Beneath the surface, They move with spectral silence, only their eyes and nostrils betraying their presence as they scan for the faintest ripple of movement. This dual mastery of salt and fresh water grants them dominion over an immense and varied territory, from tidal flats to rainforest rivers. Their hunting is a symphony of patience and precision, each movement calculated, each breath measured as they stalk beneath the water's surface. Camouflaged among reeds and shadows, they become nearly invisible, their mottled skin blending seamlessly with the dappled light of the riverbank. For hours they remain utterly motionless, conserving energy, their senses attuned to the slightest vibration or scent in the air. When a rainforest creature, be it a pig, wallaby, or any unsuspecting animal, ventures close to the water's edge, or a bird dips its beak to drink, the crocodile's opportunity arrives. In a split second, it explodes from the water with astonishing acceleration, a blur of muscle and scale. Its jaws snap shut with bone-crushing force, and the victim is swiftly dragged beneath the surface, where the struggle ends in silence. This ambush strategy allows the saltwater crocodile to subdue prey many times its own size, a feat few predators can match. Their bodies bear the scars of countless battles, each mark a story of survival in a world where only the strongest endure. With a metabolism so efficient, a single large meal can sustain them for months, sometimes even a year, allowing them to weather long periods of scarcity. This adaptation is vital in the unpredictable wild, where abundance and famine cycle with the seasons. Saltwater crocodiles possess remarkable healing abilities, often surviving grievous wounds that would prove fatal to other creatures. Their ancient gaze, unblinking and inscrutable, reflects a mind honed by eons of predation and survival. The saltwater crocodile is a keystone species, its presence a vital indicator of ecological balance and the health of the waterways it inhabits. In these ancient jungles, the saltwater crocodile endures as a living testament to the power and mystery of evolution, a silent guardian of the wild's most secret places. Beyond the imposing cassowaries striding through the undergrowth and the elusive tree kangaroos navigating the leafy canopy, the Australian rainforest teems with an astonishing diversity of specialized animals, each exquisitely adapted to its unique ecological niche. Every inhabitant, from the smallest insect to the most vibrant bird, contributes a distinct chapter to the rainforest's ongoing story of survival and adaptation. High above, the canopy is a living tapestry, animated by flashes of iridescent color as birds dart between branches, their intricate calls weaving a complex soundscape that echoes through the dense foliage. Among these aerial performers, the Victoria's riflebird stands out as one of the rainforest's most spectacular residents. This remarkable bird, a member of the bird of paradise family, is renowned for its elaborate displays and striking appearance. The male, cloaked in sleek jet-black plumage that shimmers with metallic hues in the sunlight, performs a courtship dance of extraordinary complexity, a ritual honed by generations of natural selection. He selects a prominent perch, often a bare stump or sturdy branch, transforming it into a stage for his performance. There, he stretches his wings into a dramatic circular shape, arching and swaying with rhythmic precision, all to captivate the attention of the more subdued yet discerning female. In the shaded understory, the golden bowerbird emerges as a master architect among birds. Despite being the smallest of all bowerbird species, the male constructs the largest and most intricate bower, a towering edifice of sticks and twigs meticulously arranged around two vertical saplings. This labor-intensive project demands countless hours of gathering, arranging and perfecting as the male tirelessly collects materials to enhance his elaborate courtship arena. The resulting structure towers above the forest floor, a testament to avian ingenuity and persistence. Once the framework is complete, the bowerbird adorns it with carefully chosen pale objects. Lichen, delicate flowers, and even discarded bits of plastic, each item selected for its visual appeal. The result is a dazzling display, designed to entice and impress potential mates. Unlike a nest, the bower serves no purpose in raising young. Instead, it is a stage for elaborate courtship, where the male hopes to attract multiple females with his artistry and dedication. As dusk settles and the forest is cloaked in shadow, a new cast of nocturnal specialists emerges, each uniquely adapted to the challenges of the night. The striped possum, a striking black and white marsupial, becomes active, scampering nimbly along branches in search of food. Its bold coloration is matched by its remarkable anatomy. The possum's fourth finger is elongated and highly flexible, perfectly adapted for probing deep into rotten wood and narrow crevices. With this specialized digit, the possum deftly searches for hidden beetle larvae and other invertebrates, extracting nutritious prey from beneath the bark. Once a meal is located, the possum uses its powerful incisors to gnaw through wood, breaking open tough barriers to reach the nutritious prize within. Sharing the nocturnal stage is the musky rat kangaroo, a diminutive and ancient marsupial. As the smallest and most primitive member of the kangaroo family, it is scarcely larger than a guinea pig, yet it plays a vital ecological role. Foraging on the forest floor, it gathers fallen fruits and seeds, often burying them in the soil for later consumption. Occasionally, these hidden caches are forgotten, allowing seeds to germinate and new plants to take root, thus aiding in forest regeneration. The rainforest also shelters a remarkable variety of mammals, each occupying a distinct ecological niche. From the treetops to the forest floor, these mammals have evolved unique adaptations to thrive in their chosen microhabitats. The spectacled flying fox, a large fruit bat distinguished by its pale eye rings, plays a pivotal role as a pollinator and seed disperser, feeding on nectar and fruit and transporting pollen and seeds across vast distances. In flight, these bats facilitate the reproduction of countless plant species, ensuring the continued vitality of the rainforest ecosystem. The red-legged pademelon, a small hair-sized kangaroo, darts through the dense undergrowth, browsing on tender leaves and ferns, and contributing to the cycling of nutrients on the forest floor. Meanwhile, the long-nosed bandicoot uses its pointed snout to excavate the soft earth, searching for insects and worms, and in the process aerates the soil and aids decomposition. This extraordinary diversity of life, from the birds soaring above the canopy to the mammals and marsupials burrowing below, forms a complex interdependent web, where the fate of each species is intricately linked to the others. Even the most unusual or diminutive creatures play indispensable roles, ensuring the rainforest remains a vibrant, ever-evolving symphony of strange and wonderful life. In the heart of Australia's ancient rainforests, it is the astonishing diversity and complexity of plant life that forms the very backbone of this ecosystem. Every inch of the jungle is shaped by the relentless drive of plants to survive, adapt, and thrive in a world of fierce competition and constant change. The rainforest is a living tapestry, woven from countless species, each with its own unique strategies for capturing sunlight, drawing water, and extracting nutrients from the often impoverished soils below. From the shadowy depths of the forest floor, where ferns, mosses, and fungi break down fallen leaves into rich humus, to the towering emergent trees that pierce the canopy and bask in unfiltered sunlight, every layer of the rainforest is defined by its plants. These layers create a vertical mosaic, with each stratum supporting a distinct community of organisms and microclimates. The competition for sunlight is fierce. Many plants have evolved broad, thin leaves to maximize light absorption, while others develop glossy, waxy surfaces to shed excess water and prevent fungal growth. Some, like the ancient cycads and tree ferns, are living relics of the Jurassic era, their forms unchanged for millions of years, silently testifying to the rainforest's deep evolutionary roots. Adaptations are everywhere. Epiphytes, plants that grow on other plants, cling to high branches, extracting moisture from the humid air and nutrients from decaying organic matter. Vines and lianas twist and climb, using the trunks of larger trees as ladders to reach the sunlit canopy. Bromeliads and orchids create miniature worlds in their leaf cups and roots, capturing rainwater and providing shelter for countless tiny organisms. The rainforest floor is a realm of constant transformation. Here, fungi and bacteria decompose organic matter, releasing nutrients that are quickly absorbed by the shallow, sprawling roots of rainforest plants. Mycorrhizal fungi form intricate partnerships with roots, extending their reach and enhancing nutrient uptake in exchange for sugars produced by photosynthesis. Some plants have developed extraordinary survival tactics. The strangler fig, for example, begins life as a seed deposited high in the canopy. Its roots descend like living ropes, eventually enveloping and outcompeting its host, creating a hollow lattice that becomes a sanctuary for other species. Carnivorous plants, such as pitcher plants and sundews, supplement their diet by trapping and digesting insects, an adaptation to nutrient-poor soils. Rainforest plants are masters of water management. Many have evolved drip tips, pointed leaf ends that channel rainwater away, preventing the growth of harmful fungi and bacteria. Others store water in swollen roots or stems, or develop aerial roots that absorb moisture directly from the air. During heavy rains, buttress roots stabilize massive trunks, anchoring trees in the soft, shifting earth. Chemical warfare is common. Plants produce a vast array of toxins, resins, and bitter compounds to deter herbivores and inhibit the growth of competing species. Some even release volatile chemicals to attract the natural enemies of their attackers, creating a complex web of interactions that shapes the entire ecosystem. The reproductive strategies of rainforest plants are equally diverse. Many rely on wind or water to disperse their pollen and seeds, while others have evolved intricate relationships with animals. Explosive seed pods, sticky fruits, and brightly colored flowers all serve to attract pollinators and seed dispersers, ensuring the survival of the next generation. Nitrogen-fixing plants, such as certain legumes, form symbiotic relationships with bacteria in their root nodules, enriching the soil and supporting the growth of neighboring species. This constant cycling of nutrients is vital in an environment where the soil is often thin and quickly depleted. The rainforest's botanical diversity is not just a spectacle of form and color. It is the engine that drives the entire ecosystem. Plants regulate the climate by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, moderate the flow of water through the landscape, and provide the structure, shelter, and sustenance for all other life forms. In this ancient, ever-changing world, every plant plays a role, whether as a towering giant supporting the canopy, a delicate orchid clinging to bark, or a humble moss carpeting the forest floor. Together they create a living, breathing system that has endured for millions of years, sustaining the rich tapestry of life that defines Australia's Jurassic jungle. The influence of this ancient land extends far beyond the tangled green of the rainforest, reaching all the way to the edge of the continent, where land and sea intertwine in a breathtaking display of natural engineering. Here, rivers born in the shadowy depths of the Great Dividing Range carve their way through dense jungle, gathering nutrients and minerals as they go. These waterways act as lifelines, transporting a rich cargo of organic matter and sediments that nourish the coastal shallows and lay the foundation for one of Earth's most spectacular living structures, the Great Barrier Reef. Spanning more than 2,300 kilometers, the Great Barrier Reef is a colossal mosaic of coral, sand, and seagrass, visible from space and unrivaled in scale and complexity. Its intricate network of reefs, cays, and islands forms a living barrier that both shelters and is shaped by the forces of the rainforest. At its heart, the reef is a metropolis of life, constructed by countless generations of coral polyps, tiny, soft-bodied architects that secrete limestone skeletons, slowly building vast underwater fortresses over millennia. Nowhere else on Earth do two World Heritage Sites, ancient rainforest and vibrant reef, exist in such close proximity. each ecosystem subtly influencing the other through the exchange of water, nutrients, and even airborne pollen and spores. The Great Barrier Reef is a sanctuary for an astonishing array of marine life, from the tiniest plankton to the largest predatory fish. Its labyrinthine coral gardens provide shelter, breeding grounds, and hunting territories for thousands of species. In these crystalline waters, life flourishes in dazzling abundance. Every crevice and coral head is alive with movement. Brilliantly colored fish, intricate invertebrates, and delicate sea fans swaying in the gentle currents. Over 1,500 species of fish inhabit these reefs, each adapted to a specific niche. Among them, the iconic clownfish forms a remarkable symbiotic alliance with the venomous sea anemone, gaining protection while providing cleaning services for its host. The clownfish's unique adaptation, a mucus coating that renders it immune to the anemone's stings, allows it to thrive in a fortress that deters nearly all would-be predators, a testament to the intricate relationships that define reef life. Roaming these waters are more than 130 species of sharks and rays, from the formidable tiger shark, an apex predator, to the ethereal manta ray, whose sweeping wings stir up nutrients and maintain the delicate balance of the ecosystem. The reef is also a realm of extraordinary specialists, creatures that have evolved astonishing adaptations to survive in this competitive environment, from masters of camouflage to lightning-fast hunters. The leaf scorpionfish, for instance, is virtually indistinguishable from a drifting piece of debris, its mottled body and gentle swaying motion fooling both predator and prey alike. With patience and precision, it lies in wait, striking with lightning speed when an unsuspecting fish ventures too close, an ambush perfected by millions of years of evolution. Among the reef's most remarkable inhabitants is the peacock mantis shrimp, a jewel-toned crustacean equipped with one of the most sophisticated visual systems in the animal kingdom, capable of detecting polarized light and a spectrum of colors invisible to most creatures. Its club-like appendages accelerate with explosive force, delivering blows that shatter shells and stun prey, while the impact creates tiny bubbles that collapse with a flash of light and heat, a phenomenon known as cavitation. The delicate interplay between rainforest and reef is a masterpiece of ecological connectivity. Rainforest rivers deliver not only nutrients, but also fresh water, subtly altering the salinity and chemistry of coastal habitats. The clarity and purity of these waters are vital for coral health, as even slight changes in sediment or nutrient levels can tip the balance, favoring algae over coral and threatening the entire ecosystem. When forests are cleared or degraded, rain and wind erode the exposed soil, sending clouds of sediment and pollutants downstream. These intrusions can smother coral polyps, block sunlight, and disrupt the fragile equilibrium that sustains reef life. Preserving the ancient rainforest is therefore inseparable from safeguarding the reef. Each tree, each root, and each stretch of untouched jungle acts as a guardian, filtering water and stabilizing the land. Together, these two ecosystems form a living corridor of biodiversity, a seamless transition from emerald canopy to sapphire sea, each supporting a web of life found nowhere else on the planet. This is nature's grand design, an intricate, interdependent tapestry of rainforest and reef, a testament to resilience and adaptation, and a reminder of the profound responsibility to protect these irreplaceable wonders for generations yet to come. Beneath the towering giants of Australia's Jurassic jungles, an ancient world thrives in perpetual shadow, a world ruled not by mammals or birds, but by a legion of insects, whose lineage stretches back to the dawn of forests themselves. Here, in the cool, damp understory, every fallen leaf and rotting log teems with life. These are the silent engineers of the rainforest, the tireless recyclers and pollinators whose ecological roles are as vital as they are overlooked. Among the leaf litter, the giant burrowing cockroach methodically tunnels through the soil, consuming decaying vegetation and returning essential nutrients to the earth. Its armored body unchanged for millions of years, is perfectly adapted for life among the roots, where it aerates the ground and fosters the growth of new seedlings. High in the canopy, ancient stick insects and leaf-mimicking katydids move with near-invisible grace, their cryptic forms perfected through eons of natural selection. These masters of disguise are more than just elusive prey. As herbivores, they prune the foliage, shaping the structure of the forest and influencing which plants thrive beneath the dappled light. In the gloom, the giant rainforest ant reigns supreme. These formidable insects build sprawling underground colonies, their complex social structures mirroring the intricacy of the forest above. As predators and scavengers, they regulate populations of smaller insects, maintaining a delicate balance that prevents any one species from dominating the ecosystem. Their tunnels also help drain water during heavy rains, protecting the roots of ancient trees from rot. Nocturnal moths, their wings painted with cryptic patterns, flit from flower to flower in the velvet dark. Among them is the Hercules moth, its massive wingspan spanning the width of a human hand. These gentle giants are essential pollinators, transferring pollen between distant blooms and ensuring the next generation of rainforest giants. Even in death, their bodies feed a host of decomposers, completing the circle of life. Perhaps most remarkable is the presence of living fossils, primitive dragonflies whose ancestors soared above the dinosaurs. In the filtered light above rainforest streams, they dart and hover, their compound eyes scanning for prey. These aerial hunters help control mosquito populations and serve as vital indicators of water quality, their larvae thriving only in the cleanest, purest waters. Every insect, from the tiniest springtail to the armored beetles that glitter beneath the bark, plays a role in sustaining this ancient ecosystem. They break down fallen wood, disperse seeds, and pollinate flowers, driving the cycles of growth and decay that define the rainforest. Without their constant labor, the jungle's lush abundance would quickly unravel. In the quiet heart of Australia's Jurassic jungles, the legacy of these ancient insects endures. Invisible to most, their daily toil shapes the world above, ensuring that the rainforest remains a cradle of life, resilient, balanced, and eternal. Hidden beneath the emerald canopy, a silent ancient drama unfolds, a story written not in words but in roots, leaves, and spores. Australia's rainforests are living museums, their plant life shaped by millions of years of isolation and relentless competition. Here survival demands innovation, and every frond and vine tells a tale of adaptation. Step into the cool, dappled light and witness the green dinosaur, Idiospermum australiense, the rarest of the rare, a tree so ancient its lineage predates the breakup of Gondwana. Its seeds, large and toxic, are a puzzle for modern animals, a relic from a time when giant herbivores once roamed these lands. Today, only a select few forest dwellers dare to sample its potent fruit, helping to disperse its precious cargo. Above, the ribbonwood tree unfurls its long, papery bark in delicate sheets. This natural armor peels away each season, shedding parasites and fungi before they can take hold, a living testament to the rainforest's constant battle against decay. Nearby, the climbing wait-a-while palm dangles hooked tendrils from its slender stems. These barbed whips latch onto passing branches and trunks, hauling the palm ever higher in its quest for sunlight. Any creature that brushes past is quickly reminded of its name. In the shadowy understory, the elusive blue quandong glows with iridescent fruit. Its vivid blue berries are irresistible to rainforest birds, who swallow them whole and carry their seeds far across the jungle. This partnership between plant and animal ensures the quandong's survival in a crowded, ever-changing world. Ferns, too, hold ancient secrets. The giant king fern, with fronds stretching over 5 meters, traces its ancestry to the time of the dinosaurs. Its roots form dense, tangled mats that stabilize the soil and slow the relentless rush of water during tropical downpours. Not to be outdone, the ant plant forms swollen, hollow stems that provide shelter for ant colonies, a symbiotic alliance that protects the plant from hungry herbivores. High above, the basket fern weaves an aerial nest from its own roots, capturing falling leaf litter and rain. Suspended in mid-air, it creates its own miniature ecosystem, complete with soil, water, and a bustling community of insects and frogs. Everywhere, plants have evolved to outwit the challenges of shade, competition, and predation. Some, like the stinging tree, arm themselves with venomous hairs, while others, such as the elusive orchid, mimic insects to lure pollinators. In this green labyrinth, time moves at the pace of slow growth and patient evolution. Each rare plant, each fantastic adaptation is a testament to the rainforest's power to endure and invent, quietly, ceaselessly, and with breathtaking ingenuity. Beneath the dense tangle of vines and towering trees, another world thrives in silence, a world shaped by water's gentle persistence. Rainforest streams and billabongs, fed by monsoonal rains and mountain mists, carve narrow ribbons of life through the emerald gloom. Their glassy surfaces mirror the forest above, but below, a hidden aquatic realm teems with secrets. Crystal-clear creeks wind over ancient stones, their currents oxygen-rich and cool. Here, the southern purple-spotted gudgeon darts between pebbles, its iridescent scales flashing in the dappled light. These shy fish are masters of camouflage, blending seamlessly with the leaf litter and shadows to escape lurking predators. Nearby, schools of rainbowfish shimmer through submerged roots, their bodies a living spectrum of blues, greens, and golds, vivid sparks in the muted underwater world. In the still, tannin-stained pools of a billabong, the prehistoric lungfish glides with deliberate grace. With both gills and primitive lungs, it is a living fossil, an evolutionary bridge between water and land. Its presence is a silent reminder of ancient epochs when the rainforest's waterways were nurseries for the earliest vertebrates. Among the tangled roots and fallen logs, freshwater shrimp and crayfish scuttle, their antennae probing for shelter and food. These industrious scavengers recycle leaf litter, transforming the forest's constant rain of debris into nutrients that feed an intricate food web. Water beetles and dragonfly larvae prowl the muddy bottom, each a tiny predator in a world where survival is measured in milliseconds. Above the waterline, frogs perch on overhanging branches, their calls echoing through the dusk. The dazzling green-eyed tree frog, with its brilliant hues and sticky toe pads, is both predator and prey, feeding on insects while evading the watchful eyes of fish and water snakes below. Even the plants have adapted to this aquatic life. Water lilies spread broad leaves across the surface, harvesting sunlight and sheltering a myriad of creatures beneath. Submerged mosses and ferns anchor themselves to rocks, filtering the water and providing safe havens for fish eggs and insect larvae. These watery sanctuaries are the rainforest's beating heart, cradles of biodiversity, resilience, and quiet wonder. Life here flows in cycles as old as the forest itself, shaped by the rhythm of rain, drought, and flood. In the hidden depths of rainforest streams and billabongs, the ancient story of adaptation and survival continues, far from the reach of sunlight, but never far from the pulse of the living jungle. Beneath the rainforest floor, where sunlight fades and roots entwine, lies a secret world few ever see, a vast living network woven by fungi and trees. This is the mycorrhizal web, nature's own internet, connecting tree to tree in a silent, symbiotic alliance that has endured since the age of the dinosaurs. Thread-like strands of mycelium stretch unseen through the soil, wrapping around the roots of ancient giants like the Corey pine and the towering king fern. These fungal filaments extend the reach of each tree, acting as hidden highways for water and minerals. In exchange for these nutrients, the trees offer sugars, energy created from sunlight and shared willingly with their fungal partners. But this partnership is more than just a trade. When a tree is wounded or sick, chemical signals travel through the mycelial web, alerting its neighbors to the threat. In response, nearby trees may ramp up their own defenses, releasing protective compounds into their leaves and bark. Some fungi even help trees withstand drought, retaining precious moisture within their networks during the dry season. Certain species, like the luminous ghost fungus, break down fallen logs and leaf litter, releasing nutrients locked inside dead wood. This recycling fuels the next generation of seedlings, nurturing the very trees that will one day shelter the fungi in return. Each fallen branch, each decaying trunk, becomes a nursery, proving that in the Jurassic jungle, death feeds new life. Orchids too depend on this fungal network. Their fragile seeds, scattered by the wind, cannot sprout alone. Only when they encounter the right mycorrhizal partner do they awaken, drawing sustenance from the fungus until they can grow leaves of their own. This delicate dance between plant and fungus ensures the survival of some of the rainforest's rarest and most beautiful species. In this underground realm, competition gives way to cooperation. The mycorrhizal web links the forest into a single breathing organism, one where every tree, shrub, and fern is both an individual and part of a greater whole. Here, in the shadows beneath the forest's feet, the true spirit of the Jurassic jungle is revealed, a world where connection, not conquest, is the key to survival. High above the forest floor, where sunlight weaves through emerald leaves and the air shivers with morning mist, another world awakens, one ruled not by mammals or reptiles, but by the ancient birds of Australia's rainforests. Their calls ripple through the canopy, each note an echo from a lineage stretching back to the time of dinosaurs. Australia's rainforest birds are living fossils, descendants of the first feathered creatures that once soared above primeval forests. The southern cassowary, with its helmet-like casque and sapphire-blue neck, is a direct link to those ancient times. Weighing up to 60 kilograms, this flightless giant stalks the forest shadows, its powerful legs adapted for swift sprints, and if threatened, formidable defense. Cassowaries are more than relics. They are ecological engineers. As they roam, they devour rainforest fruits whole, swallowing seeds too large for any other animal. These seeds pass unharmed through the cassowary's gut, dispersed far from the parent tree and rich packages of fertilizer. Without the cassowary, many of the forest's towering trees could not regenerate, making this bird a keystone species in the ecosystem's ongoing cycle of renewal. But the canopy holds more secrets. The elusive Victoria's riflebird, a member of the birds of paradise family, dazzles with its iridescent plumage and mesmerizing courtship displays. Males transform a sunlit branch into a stage, spreading their velvet black wings and shimmering shield-like breasts, in a dance that has enchanted observers for centuries. These performances are more than spectacle. They are a testament to the power of evolution, shaping feathers and behavior through countless generations. Other inhabitants, like the chowchilla, spend their days foraging among the leaf litter, turning over the forest floor in search of insects and seeds. In doing so, they aerate the soil and help decompose organic matter, quietly supporting the health of the ecosystem. Even the smallest voices matter. The shrill call of the eastern whipbird, the melodic trill of the tooth-billed bowerbird. Each song carries the genetic memory of ancestors who survived mass extinctions and shifting continents. These birds have adapted to the rainforest's changing face, evolving specialized beaks, feet, and behaviors to exploit every niche from the highest canopy to the darkest understory. In this living tapestry, ancient birds are both witnesses to the rainforest's deep history and active participants in its future. Their lives entwine with those of plants, insects, and even fungi, each species a vital thread in the fabric of the Jurassic jungle. As dawn breaks and the chorus swells, we are reminded the story of Australia's rainforests is not just written in wood and stone, but sung each day from the treetops by the timeless voices of its birds. In the heart of Australia's ancient rainforests, life has persisted through eons of upheaval, surviving ice ages, drifting continents, and the relentless march of time. Yet today, a new and unprecedented force is reshaping the Jurassic jungle: climate change. As global temperatures rise, the delicate balance of the rainforest is quietly but profoundly altered. Rainfall patterns grow unpredictable, with extended dry spells punctuated by intense downpours. Streams that once flowed year-round may dwindle to trickles, threatening the aquatic life that hides beneath the forest's green veil. Ephemeral pools, vital for frogs and insects, disappear before new generations can emerge. Temperature shifts force plants and animals to adapt, migrate, or risk extinction. Some species, perfectly attuned to narrow bands of humidity and shade, find themselves stranded as their microclimates vanish. The tree kangaroo, once comfortable in cool, mist-laden canopies, must now seek refuge higher up the mountains, where the air remains moist and temperate. But as the climate zones climb, the mountaintops offer no escape, only a shrinking island of suitable habitat. The intricate web of life unravels further as flowering and fruiting times change. Pollinators, like rare moths and beetles, may arrive too early or too late, missing the brief windows when blossoms open. Birds and mammals, dependent on seasonal fruiting, face leaner times as their food sources become less predictable. Even the giants of the forest, the ancient trees, are not immune. Prolonged heat and drought weaken their defenses, making them more susceptible to disease and invasive pests. As old giants fall, gaps in the canopy open, altering light and temperature below, shifting the very character of the understory and the communities it shelters. Yet, the Jurassic jungle is not without resilience. Within its tangled depths, genetic diversity and ancient survival strategies persist. Some plants sprout from seeds that can wait years for the right conditions. Certain animals adapt their behavior, seeking new food sources or shifting their ranges in response to change. Still, the pace and scale of climate change test even the most ancient survivors. The rainforest story, once written slowly across millennia, is now being rewritten in a single human lifetime. The future of the Jurassic jungle depends on the ability of its remarkable inhabitants to weather these new storms, adapting, enduring, and perhaps evolving once again. As the mists rise and the shadows shift, the rainforest stands at a crossroads, a living testament to resilience and a silent warning of the challenges yet to come.